You have to see these 3 clips. The first one is crazy. The second one is funny and crazy. And the third one is definitely crazy. Here's the first one of constitutional lawyer Alan Dershowitz claiming that you have no right not to be vaccinated. What?
Let me put it very clearly. You have no constitutional right to endanger the public and spread a disease, even if you disagree. You have no right not to be vaccinated. You have no right not to wear a mask. You have no right to open up your business.
Wait, can I stop you? No right not to be vaccinated? Meaning if they decide you have to be vaccinated, we have to be vaccinated?
Absolutely. And if you refuse to be vaccinated, the state has the power to literally take you to a doctor's office and plunge a needle into your arm.
Yeah, that's what he said. He's very well known for representing Jeffrey Epstein, O.J. Simpson, and Trump during the impeachment. President Trump seems to be a huge fanatic of this guy. He's tweeted about him dozens of times and also referred to him as the brilliant and highly respected attorney.
You have no right not to be vaccinated.
And when Alan Dershowitz says that, just know he's not alone. This was a big court case in 1905. It's called the Jacobson versus Massachusetts, a United States Supreme Court case in which the court upheld the authority of states to enforce compulsory vaccination laws. The court's decision articulated the view that the freedom of the individual must sometimes be subordinated to the common welfare and is subject to the police power of the state. And I found out by looking at it that it was even referenced during the 2020 coronavirus pandemic by the U.S. Fifth Circuit Court in regards to some sort of halting abortion debate they had in Texas. And from what Dershowitz said to that court case, do your own research, let me know what you find, and let's get on to the second clip. This one comes from a Nassau County official who said that you can't pick up the tennis balls or pick up the balls, you gotta kick the balls.
Unless they're from the same household, has to bring their own tennis balls so that you don't touch other people's tennis balls with your hands. You can kick their balls, but you can't touch them. I'm going to blush, sorry. Of course, if you're playing with someone in your household, you can touch those tennis balls. To avoid confusion between whose balls are whose, you can use a marker, like a Sharpie, to mark out, to put an X or put someone's initials on them. I would just say...
It's funny and we need a good comedy relief at this time. And at what point do we realize that the health bureaucrats and the politicians seem like they're just kind of winging it? They went from flattening the curve to slowing the spread because we didn't want to overwhelm the hospitals, to telling you that there's a multiple phase plan, and in some states the third phase we're not quite sure when it's even going to come, even though their original idea was based off of an actual end goal. And they just keep moving the goalposts so much to where it's like you could, kick the ball but don't pick it up, and play volleyball with, 2 people, 3 would be too much. Badminton, 2 people, 3 would be too much. You have de Blasio saying, don't go in the ocean, but go on the beach. But in some states, it's okay to be in Costco or a supermarket with dozens of people. Slow the curve, flatten the spread, 15 days of shutdown, 30-day extended shutdown, 50, 60, kick the balls. Yikes. Let me know what you think about that video too. The third video, perhaps the most crazy, bizarre one of them all, and that's saying something because the last 2 were pretty crazy, comes from Carol Baker, who is an MD from Texas, who was appointed on the chair of National CDC Advisory Committee on Immunization Practices in 2009. Seems to be saying here that she wants to replace all the whites in America because they don't want to be vaccinated more than other cultures and races.
The battle is being fought. One family, one physician, one health center. That's why we're doing as well as we are. We're talking about the minority and strategies against the minority. So I have the solution. Every study published in the last 5 years, when you look at vaccine refusers, I'm not talking about, hesitants, most of them we can talk into coming to terms, but refusers. We'll just get rid of all the whites in the United States because Houston is the most diverse city in the entire United States. There are 7 Asian languages spoken in that city. I've been a minority for more than 20 years in the city of Houston. The majority is, we call Hispanic. That is not a race or an ethnicity. That is a political designation. But a lot of them are from Central, South America, Mexico. Guess who wants to get vaccinated the most? Immigrants.
That's what made Donald Trump's comment about bringing disease here so funny. They're at risk when they come here.
Immigrants.
Have better vaccination rates in Mexico.
It is the well-educated, in terms of pieces of paper that they put on their wall, people that have been here a long time, and it's very unfortunate. But I think we need not lose the big picture.
It's just nutty, it's disgusting, but because she said it about a certain race, ethnicity, and skin color, it will go unnoticed. If it was any other one, it would be top headline news for months. Protests, non-stop media coverage, but because she said what she said, you're not going to hear much about it. And this idea that she has, if someone else were to say it, they would say it's a conspiracy theory or hate speech or some sort of far, far right talking point, but when they admit that they want to do that every single year, it somehow goes under the radar. For instance, the LA Times said the other year, California's changing demographics will further doom Republicans, and Democratic presidential candidate at the time, Julian Castro, said a similar thing was happening in Texas, which was leading to Democratic victories.
Cruz today at a luncheon in D.C. acknowledged that things are changing here. If Republicans lose the state, it's basically game over. You're a student of Texas politics. What's going on here? Is this different this time, and what's causing it?
There are two dynamics happening in Texas. Number one, you've had a lot of people move in over the last 15 years that are moderating this state. The suburbs have turned against Trump and the Republicans. And secondly, you have the continued demographic changes, the growth in the Hispanic community, in other communities of color that are moving the state to the left, making it more competitive.
So whether it's MD Baker, LA Times, Julian Castro, it seems like the Democratic Party and the health bureaucrats know exactly how to get their way, which is, in their own words, less white people, which I guess is somehow okay for them to say that's how they want to obtain power. And in their political preference, it's more control over your life, whether it's the health bureaucrats or with the politicians, it's usually high taxes, more control over your life, and the demonization of things like the Second Amendment and other personal freedoms and liberties that people of all ethnicities have cherished for hundreds of years. But that's the video, that's the story. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section, and I hope you enjoyed those 3 videos as much as I did. The funny, the bad, the ugly, we try to make the most of it all here and keep it as real and honest as possible, because unfortunately in this climate of politics and media, there's a lot of dishonesty, there's a lot of hypocrisy, and stories like this go unnoticed. Have a beautiful day. I'll be back with more videos, and sign up to my free email list at stayintouchwithme.com. That's stayintouchwithme.com. Link will be under this video in the comment section and probably under the description. I'll be back soon.